All right, hello, can you hear me?
Hi there. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. How can I
Okay.
help you today?
All right, great. So let's say that I show you a picture of somebody who was 4,000 meters above sea level. That's their eye height, and they're at a 296-kilometer distance between themselves and the famous Mount Monviso in Pisa, Italy, which is about 3,841 meters tall. Would they be able to see the mountain considering the radius of the Earth? Yes or no?
Let me break it down for you. We'd factor in the height of both the observer and the mountain, and the Earth's curvature. With the observer at 4,000 meters and the mountain at about 3,841 meters, the line of sight horizon extends quite far. The distance to the horizon for the observer is about 225 kilometers, and for the peak, it's around 221 kilometers. Adding these, you get roughly 446 kilometers. Since their actual distance is about 296 kilometers, yes, they would be able to see Mount Monviso.
Okay, now let's factor in hidden heights. So, given the Earth's radius, right, that you just told us, what exactly would be visible?
That's a great point. With the Earth's curvature, part of the mountain might be hidden. The visible part depends on how much of the mountain's lower section is blocked by the curvature. Factoring in the observer's height and the distance, a significant portion of the peak, likely the top 1 to 2 kilometers, would be visible above the horizon.
So, only the top 1 to 2 kilometers at the very peak of the mountain would be visible.
Exactly. Only the upper portion of the mountain, likely around the top 1 to 2 kilometers, would be visible above the horizon. The rest would be hidden by the Earth's curvature.
Okay, yeah. Now, let's say that I show you a picture of somebody at exactly 4,000 meters above sea level. That's their eye height, and they are exactly 296 kilometers between themselves and Mount Monviso in Pisa, Italy, which is 3,841 meters tall. Considering the radius of the Earth and the hidden height, would that picture show only the peak of the mountain, yes or no?
Yes, that picture would show only the peak, not the entire mountain. The Earth's curvature would hide the lower sections, leaving just the top portion visible above the horizon.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense given everything that you just said. But here's the thing. What if there is actually a picture that somebody took where they don't just see the peak of the mountain, but they literally see the entire mountain? I repeat, the entire mountain from top to bottom at 4,000 meters above sea level, 296 kilometers of distance. Considering everything that we just said about the radius of the Earth, what would you have to say about that picture?
If the entire mountain is visible from that distance and height, it suggests that something isn't right. Either the photograph was taken from a higher vantage point, the mountain is closer, or there may be atmospheric refraction bending light.
But let's say
Un-
that this picture was taken on a crystal clear day, and let's say that this was a professional picture that was taken by professional photography, and let's say that the exact calculations were documented by a professional team, and the person really was 4,000 meters above sea level and 296 kilometers of distance, and the entire photo shows Mount Monviso, the entire mountain from top to bottom, despite being 3,841 meters tall. What would you have to say about that picture?
If the entire mountain is visible from top to bottom at that distance and height, it suggests there may be unusual conditions. This could be due to atmospheric refraction
But it's a
bending light.
crystal clear day. It's a crystal clear day, right? Very little room for atmospheric refraction, let alone for something that's 3,841 meters tall that is being seen from top to bottom, considering the eye level and also the distance. Don't you think that that would be unusual? What do you have to say about that?
Yes, that would be highly unusual. Given the Earth's curvature and the known dimensions, seeing the entire mountain from base to peak at that distance with minimal refraction would be beyond normal expectations. It might suggest some unusual optical phenomenon or an error in the documented conditions.
But let's say that the documented conditions were recorded by a professional team.
Even with a professional team documenting conditions, the fundamental geometry of the Earth's curvature wouldn't change. If the entire mountain is visible from top to bottom at that distance, it would likely mean there's a significant atmospheric refraction effect or some other optical factor at play.
But we're talking about a crystal clear day where there would be minimal atmospheric refraction. What do you have to say?
In that case, it would be extremely surprising and physically unlikely. Without significant atmospheric refraction, the curvature of the Earth would hide much of the mountain. So if the entire mountain is visible, it would challenge our current understanding of line of sight and Earth's geometry.
And the curvature, right?
Exactly. It would go against the expected curvature calculations.
Here we have an observation done from Pisa, Italy, across to Mount Viso. The observer height was 400 meters above sea level and the distance was 296 kilometers to Mount Viso. Here's the article talking about the observation, and here's a link to the actual article. So if we plug in those details into the Earth Curve calculator, it comes out with a hidden height of 3,957 meters, and Mont Viso is only 3,841 meters tall. So there should be a hidden height of 116 meters. The top of Mount Viso should be 116 meters below the Earth's curvature, and it's clearly visible in front of the sun.